So today I'm going to go to an auction house and show you my process of how I bid at auctions. So we're going to do a few clips once we're there, and then once I've won the stuff, then you're going to see that in clips, and I'm going to show you what I paid and what I hope to get back. And basically, as I'm a busy man and I'm always here, there and everywhere, I have to speed up the process of certain things. So I won't actually be spending the entire day at the auction house live bidding. What I do is I go to the auction house, which is what we're doing now, and I view all the stuff that I'm interested in. I get a little slip of paper and I write down the lot numbers and what my maximum bid is, and this is called pre-bids. So then once I've done all that, I will then hand them slips of paper to someone who works there, and then tomorrow at the live auction they will bid on my behalf up to my maximum bid. So they won't just automatically put in the maximum bid, it would just be they know when to stop bidding on my behalf. And then at 3 o'clock when the auction ends, I will then ring up the auction house, find out how much is owed, I'll pay that, and then one day during the week I will then go and collect all my stuff, and that is when you see me unloading the van back at the warehouse, and I'll show you what I won. So you'll see the stuff at the auction house, and then you will see it again once I've won it, because I'm that confident I'm going to win it all. So this is the sheet I place my pre-bids on. Just finishing my cup of tea. We need a bit of weight loss, so we might get that personal use.
What are you saying?
See if you can get a price on them.
Right.
Get past these. So that's the pre-bids done. Only 3 pages this week. So tomorrow we'll find out what we won. Back from the auction house. No, we're not. Tell a lie. It's the next day. I'm back at the warehouse and I've got the auction winnings here. So although it was only 3 pages long, like I said, I took Connor with me, and that paid off because it meant we could research everything, placing higher bids, bigger chance of winning. Normally I'll do like between 4 and 8 pages of pre-bids. I only done 3. I think it was less than 3. It was like 2 3/4, and yet I still ended up winning loads and spent 600 quid, and there's still profit to be made. So we're going to go through it together, show you what I've got, what I paid, and an estimate on what I hope to get back. And while I'm here, just want to say why I highly recommend, if you're doing auctions, go to an auction house in person, because you can view it and see any damage or issues with the item, so you know exactly what you're getting. Whereas if you do it online, now don't get me wrong, I do them online as well, and I also recommend that, but I recommend this more, doing it in person, because when it's online, 9 times out of 10 the auction house just puts one picture on, and it would be like a picture of, say, that chair from a distance, so you can barely see any issues. You can't see if it's got woodworm or anything. Whereas in person, you can check it, check for condition, check for tags, markings, and all that jazz. So I highly recommend going in person. So first up, all in, £73.32 for this Arcam amp, the Panasonic Freeview Blu-ray player, and them speakers. Now, I ain't going to go through and tell you the exact prices, but we researched it all before placing the bids. So I'm just going to give you an estimate now, because I can't fully remember. But I'm pretty sure the amp was 100, and I think maybe the speakers were 75 to 100. And then this here might have also been over £50. So
that might have been 150.
yeah,
I can't quite remember. Maybe 150.
yeah. So yeah, I'm sure there was one of the items that was really high end. It could potentially be that. So any prices or numbers I'm throwing out, just take it with a pinch of salt, because I'm not going to remember everything off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that we can turn that £73.32 into £200 plus, and like maybe 250 plus. But also at auctions, you are going to be paying a lot more, because you're bidding against other people, but you get all this from one place. And this was a small auction. Normally I get a lot more than this, and it saves you having to like walk around car boots for hours on end, weeks on end, to get this amount of stuff. Then we got a Hitachi stereo music center and speakers, and I paid £19.55. However, it got left behind, so I got my driver on the way there now to go and get that, but you ain't gonna see it in this video, unfortunately. But it's one of these big long ones. It's about that long, by that. It's got a big glass or plastic top, comes with speakers. Normally get around £100 for them. Some of them can achieve like £200-300. So my money is safe there. And even if it's broke, my money is still safe, because I can sell the speakers for about 30 or 40, and then sell the music system, spares or repairs, for say 40-50 quid. Then we have, for £9.78, that bad boy there. You can't really see it, but it's got a foot pad you stand on, and you put this belt around you here, and it gives you a massage. But that was bought on a whim, so we couldn't really find much evidence on it, and what we did find, I think it was like auction or collection only. But I think bare minimum for that 30 quid, but hopefully we can get like 50 plus. Then we have for £39.10. Now this was a bargain. So it is a vintage standard lamp, 3 plant stands, a folding cake stand, a carved table, and a pot cupboard. Remember, I paid £39.10. Now you're seeing on camera now everything that was included. Absolutely mental. So this small table here, it looks like it's got I don't know, that could be mother of pearl inlay or just white plastic, I don't know. Anyway, I've not had one of them before, I don't think. But I would say, like, to be safe, 20 to 30 quid. And then this plant stand here, I reckon you get 50 quid. That there, we've had them before, so if the value's the same, 40 quid. But the value might go up or down. But safe bet, 40 quid on that. And then this one here, I reckon again, probably 40 to 50 quid. I'm being very conservative with these numbers as well, unless I'm 100% certain on the price. So the prices of this stuff could be more. More than likely is more than what I'm saying. This here, we sell these standard lamps for £100, and we accept offers of around 80 to 85, and they sell. Like, they're really popular, and I don't know why it's took me so long to realise that, because over the years I have probably walked past so many of them. This one here, again, 40, 50 quid. The pot cupboard, I would say 50 to 75. So that, just that lot there is probably bargain of the auction. And then for £14.66 we have a brass standard lamp with shade. So again, probably 75 to £100 on that. And then that looks mid-century, so I will sell that separately and probably get 30, maybe even 40 quid just for the shade alone. So again, that is another great deal. £3.67. Couldn't find much about this, but for £3.67, like, it's a vintage like remote control car. You can see under there. The chances of that working is very, very slim, but that's why I only placed a £3 bid and I won it. So I would say not working 15, 20 quid, working maybe 30, 40 quid, don't know, we'll have to research that, but that was just bought on a whim. And then for £31.77 is, so I'm trying to, if you're wondering why the numbers are not flowing, it's because there's two numbers I got to add them together, because you've got fees in that in auction houses. So when you're placing bids at auction, just remember the majority of them, fees and VAT included, comes to around 20 to 24% on top of what you're bidding. So all in, even though I paid £26, all in it's costing me £31.77, which isn't too bad. There isn't no VAT on this one, but some auction houses do have VAT. Anyway, I got all of that. Now, this is cassette tape holders, carry cases, but they're also full of cassettes. Now, regardless of what the cassette is, it don't really matter, because I just job lot the whole lot of cassettes, and I get between, well, I would say for all of these cassettes as one big bundle, I would get 50 to 75 quid for them. So that's my money back and then some. And then the cases I will sell separately, so probably get between 10 and 15 pounds per small one, and then I would say 20 to 25 on each of the other ones. So say 25 quid each, that's 100 quid back just on them 4 big cases. And then we got these here. Some of these can be worth money, but some not so much. Now, I'll probably just save these and put them to one side until I get a big bundle of sealed vintage like media. But I've just noticed this is a VHS cleaner and it's brand new and sealed. VHS tape cleaners can achieve some good money, and that's brand new and sealed. So that might actually be like 10, 15, maybe even 20 quid for that. So that's a nice little treat. And then just noticed this. Oh, it's brand
It's
new.
just a
sealed.
cleaner. I've opened it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just something to clean things, I think.
So again, that could be 10, 15 quid. So, alright, that's... Them two there, they're in close competition. Who is the best? Where are we? Next, so for £17.11, we got this big old Panasonic inverter microwave oven. These are big. Like, I don't know how well you can notice it on the camera, but these are big. They're not like your standard microwaves. And we get £100 all day long for them, so long as they're working, of course. That's another risk you take. But yeah, £100 I'll get for that. Then for £12.22, we got these two here, but I wasn't really interested in them, but it was part of the bundle. Probably get, in that condition, 10, 20 quid a piece on them. And then we got a brass fender down there. It's only a small one, but I reckon I could get 50 quid for that. And then two brass plant stands. Never had anything like that, but let's just say 20 quid a piece to be conservative. So again, over £100 there. God, I was nervous at this. I paid 600 for this, but now I'm throwing the numbers out. I'm not so nervous. Selection of clocks. This was a whim. Like, I didn't research any of it. Just placed a £10 bid and they took the bid. £12.22 for all them clocks there. Now, some of these, not all of them, but some of them, little travel clocks, can actually go from anywhere from 30 to 50 quid. So £12.22 for all of these. I think my money is safe. So let's just say, to be safe, 15 quid each on them. So that's 30. That's probably worthless. Let's say 15 on that, it's 45. 15 on that, that's 50. 15 on that, that's...
Barometer.
I don't know, I've lost count. But my money's safe, that's what I'm saying, alright? Unused heavy duty. So for £26.88, got two brand new bookshelves. Now, you're probably thinking, right, surely that's not profit in that. And you'd be right. Because a little sneak peek, a little bit of a secret information, I've took on another shop. And we move in a month's time, give or take. So I would try my best to do a video on that, showing you us moving in to the second place. Alright, but shh, don't tell anyone. Then for £146.64, we got a Bang & Olufsen system and speakers. Now this is where the big money's at. So these speakers alone are in the hundreds, I believe. I think it was anywhere from like 1 and 300, if I remember correctly, for the speakers alone. And then these here, on that, there's 3 of them. On average, let's just say 100 each. But I think one of them was a lot more than that. And that's being conservative as well. So it was probably like £400 or £500 worth there. And after research and testing, it might be a lot more than that. So fingers crossed. And then a nest of 3 tables. I paid up on these, but they're in the nicest condition to nest the tables in that design I've had. Like, at a quick glance, they just look brand new, never used. So for £36.66, I would say these are £100 set of tables minimum, but I'm pretty sure we've seen evidence of 120 to 150. At a quick glance, I didn't find any G-Plan stickers, but with a bit of research, they look identical, and quite often the stickers do just peel off with age. They become unsticky and fall off, or someone has just purposely peeled it off, or I missed it when I was looking at the auction house, because you've only got a limited amount of space. Like, I wasn't able to pull them out that far, so I'll look at them again. But worst case, I'll just say G-plan style, but I'll still get 100 quid for them tables. So that's a double up there, but I don't reckon they hang around long, and I could even put them in the shop for 100 quid. Vintage books, what will I pay for that? So £12.22 for these books. So we got them Winston Churchills. That set of 4 there, that's 50 quid. And then this set of, oh, it's on a swivel. 1, 2, 6 books there, 30 to 50 quid on them. These here we haven't looked at, so they might be worth something, they might not. But them 2 sets alone will be 80 to 100 quid, and I paid £12 something. So don't go sleeping on your books unless you're in my area. Then you stay away. And then 2 reproduction revolving book stands. Now, we couldn't find anything about these, but we just placed a bid and took a chance. So for £26.88, we got that bookcase there. You can't see it very well, but it swivels as well, along with this one, which again also swivels. Now, what did I say I paid? £26.88. Honestly, I reckon £100 each on eBay, and I can post them. Not bad at all. And then for £39.10, I got 3 vintage chairs and an occasional table. Now the table and the third chair is missing, but that's getting collected as we speak, along with the other missing stereo system. So we got these 2 chairs plus another chair which is matching to this, but it's got arms. I would say for the missing chair probably 100 quid. These 2 here could do, I would say 50 to 75 quid each on these. And then I'm pretty certain it came with another chair again, but they haven't written it on here. So it was another chair with it. And if that is the case, then probably another 50 to 75 on that chair. But yeah, I'll be in profit just selling the missing chair with the arms. So again, that was a good deal. And then for £9.78, we got that Capri sewing machine. Ignore the Singer manual, don't know why that's there. However, if working, 50 to 60 quid, sometimes more. Not working, we still bang them out for 35 to 40. And we sell the pedals separately for like 20, 25. So again, money very safe. And then I've always wanted chest of drawers to go in the shop, because apparently they sell like hotcakes. They go from 100 to £200-300. I've got this antique set of drawers here. That's beautiful. And I paid £39.10. Even if I only get £100 in the shop, obviously there's no eBay fees in that. I'm going to put more than £100 on it. I'm probably going to aim for, I'll start at 150 and just slowly bring it down over time. So £39 into 150 without the hassle of having to post it and the eBay fees and all that. I think that's pretty decent. And then again, I think this is the last one, last but not least, and I think this is also a good buy. £24.44 for a stool. No, for 5 stools. Look at that. Never seen one like that before. Very, very nice. Delicious. These smaller ones, so that one and that one, we get 20 to 25 on eBay. The 2 bigger ones, you can see the size difference when you put them next to them like that. So the 2 bigger ones, probably 30 to 35 each on them. And then this one, I reckon I could put that in the shop and get 30 quid, but on eBay, maybe 40 quid for that. Is that a razor blade? Nope, it's a sticker. You need to calm down, son. So, that is everything. So I highly recommend doing auctions as well as car boots and just stock up ready for the winter. Vinted. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.